You ever met a billionaire with no bank account? Me neither. But I'll tell you this, I've walked like one. I've stayed up until 3 a.m., writing million-dollar thoughts on napkins and praying that my purpose didn't evaporate with the morning light. That's who I am spiritually. I'm rich in imagination. My pockets may have been empty, but my mind has always been overfunded with ambition. My balance sheet, ideas, my currency, belief, I don't buy into trends, I invest in trajectory. While some people stockpile stocks, I stack skills. While others invest in IPOs, I double down on internal potential. I shop for faith wholesale because retail confidence costs too much when you're still trying to convince yourself you're worthy. I buy silence in bulk just so I can hear the faint whispers of my future calling me, even when doubt tries to speak louder. And that's the game. See too many of y'all out here leasing other people's confidence. You wearing rented courage on Instagram? You're financing lifestyles you can't spiritually afford. Every day you clock into a job you hate just to keep your fear comfortably fed. You're overpaying for comfort and underinvesting in conviction. You out here building someone else's dream with your time, while your own is rotting on the back shelf of your soul. You looking for investors? Cool. But when's the last time you pitched your own purpose to yourself? You got a whole empire inside your chest and haven't even filed for emotional LLC. You treat your pain like a brand, but your ideas like they're liabilities, and that's backwards. You want credit, but your self-worth still hasn't passed internal audit. Until you treat your mind like a Fortune 500 company, you're going to keep feeling emotionally bankrupt. You want the life, but your habits haven't been approved for financing. You want a mansion mindset, but you're living rent-free in excuses.
Ouch.
No matter how many podcasts you binge or books you halfway highlight, you can't get rich in real life until you pay your internal dues. Forget going viral. That's noise. Go internal. That's wealth. That's where the compound interest of consistency lives. Your thoughts, that's your first portfolio. The way you speak to yourself in quiet moments, that's your pitch deck. And your actions, your daily grind when no one's watching, that's your shareholder report. You are the CEO of your destiny, but right now, you acting like an unpaid intern in your own life? The broke billionaire doesn't need applause. He needs alignment. He don't chase status. He chases substance, because when your mind is wealthy, the world eventually catches up. It has no choice. That's the law of attraction backed by internal revenue. So stop asking for a seat at the table when you ain't even set one in your own mind yet. Build the boardroom in your thoughts first, then pull up the chair in real life. Let's trade that broke billionaire energy for something Olympic level. No sweat required, just mental training. You ever see someone train like their life depends on it? But they're not training for a sport. They're training for clarity, for discipline, for peace. That's the Olympic hustle I'm talking about. No gold medals, no endorsements, no podiums, just a daily grind that don't get televised. The gym is internal. The weight is emotional, the stopwatch. It's your calendar yelling at you every morning. Now, I ain't saying you gotta run laps to be great. I'm saying you gotta run up on your own excuses. You gotta wake up and stretch your belief. Do mental push-ups with your goals. And sprint away from distractions like your future's chasing you down with a baton in hand. Every choice you make is part of your training. Every yes or no is a rep. Every hour wasted is a missed practice. And some of y'all keep wondering why you're getting beat at the game of life. It's because you keep skipping workouts. You don't need a personal trainer to show up to your dream every day. You need personal responsibility. You think the Olympics are hard? Try fighting off doubt, Bills. Childhood trauma. And algorithms all in the same day and still showing up to write, build, create, lead, serve. That's an Olympic event right there. That's the 400-meter dash through disappointment with a gold medal for finishing what you said you would. And let me tell you something about these gold medals. They don't shine like you think. They ain't made of metal. They're made of moments. It's moments when you said, I'll do it tomorrow, but did it today. Moments when you were tired but not finished. When you were scared but moved anyway. That's what consistency looks like. It ain't sexy, but it stacks wins. Quietly. Daily. Relentlessly. See, champions ain't born on game day. They're born in the dark. In silence. In places where nobody's clapping. You think Simone Biles became the GOAT by being motivated every day? No, she became the GOAT by showing up, even on the days she didn't feel like it. And some of y'all keep waiting to feel ready, like success is going to tap you on the shoulder and say, "Today's the day, champ." That day is never coming. You don't get permission. You give yourself a deadline. Lace up, get moving. Now let's talk about time. The real coach. It's the undefeated champion, the one you can't outrain or outtalk. While you're debating whether your idea is good enough, time is running the laps you should have been on. While you scroll past other people winning, you're skipping practice in your own life. And here's the truth. Life is always keeping score. Don't care how talented you are if you're not in the race. It's the Olympic hustle ain't for the perfect. It's for the persistent, the consistent, the quiet storm types who don't care about applause, but live for alignment. Every calendar page is another lane on the track. Every deadline is a starting pistol, your competition. Ain't nobody else but yesterday's version of you. That's who you run against. Every day, every decision, every breath. So no, you might not be an athlete, but you've got races to run. You've got strength to build. You've got a life that's begging to be treated like the championship it is. You've got a dream trying to qualify for greatness. But it's still waiting on you to train like you believe it deserves a shot. Dante, let your vision sit in the locker room of your mind, collecting dust while someone else runs your race. Get up, clock in, stretch your belief system, fuel up on focus, and run. Because if you're not training for your life, someone else will train you how to live theirs. Let's stop jogging through our potential like the finish line's optional. Right. Time to run like a champion, think like a coach, and grind like the world is watching. If it's not, Dodd. Because at the end of the day, the only crowd that matters is the one in your mind, cheering you on, or doubting you. Train like your peace depends on it, because it does. Imagine this. It's your funeral. It's not trying to be dark. Just go with me. It's a packed room. Family, friends, people you've barely spoke to but somehow found your playlist and a reason to show up. But here's the twist. Nobody's crying. No one's reading your resume or flexing your degrees. There's no slideshow of vacations or cars. Instead, a lawyer walks in holding a giant scroll. Big bold letters across the top. The estate of your mind. Everyone sits up. The room goes silent. He clears his throat and says, "We are gathered here not to celebrate your possessions, but your patterns. Not to divide up your wealth, but your ways." And one by one, he starts reading off what you left behind. To the eldest son, you get 5 years of fear-based decision-making, masked as responsibility, handle with carrots heavy. To the daughter, you inherit the belief that you're never enough. It's been in the family for generations. To the cousin who always admired your strength, you get the truth you were strong, but you were also tired because you never healed. And as he continues, the room fills with objects. One person opens a box labeled excuses. It's overflowing. Another opens a smaller box, glowing labeled legacy, but it's light, like it was barely touched. Now pause. That sounds wild, right? But here's the catch. That courtroom is real. It's just invisible. And it's happening right now. Every decision you make is a bequest. Every habit you keep is an inheritance. You are writing your will not on paper, but in patterns. Your daily actions are legal documents that your children, your partner, your community are going to have to live with long after you're gone. See, people think legacy is about money, land, businesses, bank accounts, and yeah, that stuff matters. But the real inheritance? The way you made people feel, the way you handled failure, the way you held yourself accountable when nobody was watching, the way you showed up after life slapped you across the face and dared you to stay down. That's what they'll remember. That's what you'll leave. You can leave a mansion and still leave your family emotionally homeless. You're working 60-hour weeks to pay for college, but you never taught your kids how to handle disappointment. You saved for the family vacation, but never once showed them how to forgive. And let me say this, your legacy doesn't start when you die. It starts with what you choose not to repeat. It starts with what you decide to confront. It starts the moment you say, This ends with me. Or are you leaving clarity, faith, grit, self-respect? And don't get it twisted, your past doesn't have to poison your will. You can rewrite the script starting today. You can leave behind wisdom forged from your worst moments. You can package pain into purpose and deliver it with love, as proof that healing is possible. Because at the end of the day, the most valuable thing you can leave this world is a mind that was built, not broken, a spirit that was refined, not regretful. A blueprint of how to fall, get back up, and still move forward with purpose. So the question isn't what you'll put in a casket. The question is, what will you leave in people? Your habits are the real heirlooms. Your choices are the real estate. Your mindset is the mansion. Build wisely and leave something sacred. You ever been trapped in a room with your own thoughts? No walls, no guards, just you. And everything you've ever told yourself at 3:17 a.m.
Welcome to the mental escape room. And listen, it don't have to be fancy.
It's not some elaborate puzzle built in a warehouse downtown.
This one's built in your head brick by brick. Every overthought text. Every what if that turned into what now.
Every moment you sat on potential while fear held the key. You look around and the walls are mirrors. But they don't show your reflection, they show your hesitation. Floating all around you like glowing cubes are the words fear, doubt, distraction, and comfort. And every time you try to move, they shift with you, like they've memorized your every excuse. And in the corner, just out of reach, is the glowing golden key. One word etched on the side: discipline. But here's the thing about this room. You're the one who locked yourself in, and only you can unlock it. You see, we've glamorized escape. Everyone's talking about escaping the 9-to-5, escaping toxicity, escaping poverty, but what about escaping your own patterns? What about breaking free from that internal monologue that always starts with, I can't, or I'm not ready, or what if I fail? That's the real trap. It ain't your job. It's not your environment. It's not your past. It's your attachment to those things. You ever seen someone chase freedom but still follow all the habits that built their prison? You ever hear someone talk about changing the world but never change the way they talk to themselves? That's what this escape room's about. It's about being stuck, not physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It's about feeling like the door is locked, when in reality, you just never tried the handle. Let me tell you about the lasers. They ain't real, but they feel real. They're your what will they think. Beams, your this has never been done before. Tripwires, your I tried once and it didn't work sensors. And the moment you get too close to your purpose, those beams start flashing red. Loud, blinding, distracting, but none of them can actually stop you. They just try to delay you long enough to make you quit. And the cubes? They're the distractions that disguise themselves as rest. Doom scrolling, fake productivity. Arguments you should have let go days ago. Self-help content you binge but never act on. Comfort that costs you your calling. But the key, it's always there, glowing, waiting. It ain't sexy. It's not labeled motivation or inspiration. It's discipline. The unshiny, unfiltered, uninstagrammable answer. It's waking up tired and still showing up. It's doing the work even when you're the only one clapping. It's choosing 5 minutes of focus over 5 hours of procrastination. It's deciding you've had enough of being stuck. Because the truth is, this room doesn't disappear. Life will keep building new ones, new challenges, new fears. But once you find the first key once, you realize that you can move differently. That your thoughts don't own you, you unlock something permanent. You unlock momentum. And once momentum hits, the walls start to crack. Doubt don't echo so loud. Fear don't feel so strong. The mirror starts showing reflection again, not hesitation. You stop seeing the traps and start seeing the path. But here's the most important part. There's no time limit in this room, just choices. You can stay here for 60 minutes, 60 days, 60 years. Or you can move. You can stretch, reach, decide, grab the key called discipline. Open the door called clarity and walk into the hallway called growth. So what's it going to be? Stay in the comfort of your cage, or finally make that break. The door's not locked. Never was. Picture this. You're walking down a tunnel, cold, silent, endless. The walls whisper with old thoughts. Doubts echo like footsteps behind you. Every few steps, someone calls out, "Turn back." It's safer that way. But something in your gut says keep moving. That's the underground mindset railroad. I know what you're thinking. Sounds dramatic. Sounds poetic. But it's real because every single one of us, at some point, has to escape the mental plantation we were born onto. It's not physical chains, but chains of expectation, chains of fear, chains of generational silence, chains built from what they told you you couldn't be, and what you started telling yourself. This railroad isn't for the comfortable, it's for the called. Some of us were raised in households where nobody talked about emotions, where ambition was dangerous, where dreaming was something you had to apologize for. And before we ever had a chance to try, we were handed a map with someone else's routes already drawn in red. But deep inside you, there's a whisper, a compass, a rhythm that ain't been played yet, but still beats steady in your chest. That's purpose. And it's your lantern. Now picture yourself holding that lantern. You're not sprinting. You're not even walking fast. You're moving slow, steady, aware. Behind you, others follow. Maybe your little brother, your daughter, a neighbor, stranger watching your journey from afar, wondering if they too can escape. That's what makes this different. This ain't just about you. When you decide to think differently, live differently, heal differently, you're not just freeing yourself. You're guiding people out of their own darkness. That's what legacy really is. But let me be honest, it's not easy. This tunnel, it's long. You'll meet people who tried to run, but stopped halfway. They built houses in the dark, decorated their fear. Put furniture inside comfort zones and called it realistic. You'll hear voices telling you you're crazy for leaving. You should be grateful. It's not that bad. Nobody else made it out. What makes you different? But you keep walking, because once you taste light, you can't go back to dim. There are moments along this railroad where the silence gets heavy, where the light flickers, where you drop the lantern for a second and ask, am I even going the right way? That's normal. Every freedom fighter, mental, spiritual, or otherwise, has that moment. But the key is this: you never stop moving. And as you walk, the light grows. You start seeing old habits for what they work, coping mechanisms. You see the old voices, not as truth, but as echoes of someone else's fear passed down. You start to recognize the power in your own footsteps. And the wildest part? That lantern labeled purpose, it burns brighter the more you use it. It doesn't run out, it expands. Your peace lights the path for others. Your discipline gives them permission. Your healing gives them hope. So let me ask you, what chains are still holding you? Is it perfectionism? Approval addiction? Fear of failure? Fear of success? Or just the simple fear of who you might become if you stopped pretending? The underground mindset railroad isn't a one-time trip, it's a lifelong route. You'll keep finding tunnels, new doubts, new ceilings disguised as walls. But every time you choose truth over comfort, clarity over chaos, purpose over performance, you move further out of captivity and closer into who you were born to be. So take the lantern, grip it tight, walk the path. Remember, someone else is watching, waiting, hoping you'll show them the way. Free your mind before it's too late. Thank you for watching. If any part of this message lit something up inside you, don't just let it fade. Fan it, feed it. Follow it. You weren't meant to live stuck, silent, or second-guessing. You were meant to think free, move bold, and create something so real from within. The world has no choice but to witness it. This wasn't just a video, it was a mirror, a reminder, a challenge. Because everything you need isn't out there, not in the next trend, not in the next tutorial, not even in the next opportunity. It's in you. So whatever you do, always think from within, because that's where the light lives. And once you turn it on, there's no going back. Stay focused, stay powerful, and remember, dreams don't chase. They wait on the one who's ready to move. Until next time, think deeply, act boldly, and live from the inside out.